Hello, thank you for coming back. I wanted to do a tutorial on whoopie pie. I don't know if you've ever had whoopie pie. It's actually kind of like a cross between cookie and cake for the cookies. And there's usually icing inside, like a frosting. And there's many variations. Usually when I see whoopie pie, it's actually frosting that's just rubbed on and smashed. But since it is frosting, some of the actual people that make it at bakeries actually use the frosting tips, and I think that's very pretty. So that is the style I'll do today. So here's just some color variations to give you an idea of what you can do with them. But we are going to do the vanilla, which is actually what you usually see. Although these look great with red velvet too. So that's just another idea I'm throwing out there for you guys. Now, first we make the cookie crusts. And for this, you need to make sure you have 2 balls of the same size. Or you can use your pasta roller on the thickest setting and just cut out 2 circles. So you can do either way. Anyhow, I have 2 balls here that are the same. We have them rolled up in the ball. Hopefully they haven't been sitting out too long. But I press down on a sheet of paper. My work surface is paper here. And I start pressing down towards the corners. And then the top is domed a little bit. So you get 2 circles, and you just want them to be about the same size, which is why I make balls in the same size. So from here to texture it, I take a toothbrush that you have just for clay, and I start texturing it. And then I start pressing down around the sides. And then I will texture it around the edges and press it back into a circle shape with the toothbrush if it got on, if the roundness went away while you were texturing it. So that textures it rather well. And from there you bake it. So these are already baked, so they're nice and hard. And then I'm going to show you the frosting. You could do the frosting a couple ways. If you don't want it piped, you could make yourself frosting with TLS. This is just white Primo. So frosting with TLS is the translucent liquid Sculpey with whatever frosting color you would want. So it would be a solid clay. If you wanted white, you mix this with the translucent liquid Sculpey. But as you saw today, I have it with a frosting tip. This is a size 16 from Wilton, and I'm going to use my clay extruder, but if you don't have a clay extruder, you push it into your frosting tip, and you cut some off, and then you could take a blunt tool and start forcing it through. I'm not doing it that way, but even like a pencil would be fine, because the eraser at the back, it's like rounded, but you want something rounded, and you could start pushing through and forcing it, and that will start forcing the clay through your tip. But today I want to use my clay extruder. So my clay extruder is from Walnut Hollow. I really like it, and I'll show you guys the packaging for this sometime soon. But basically, I unroll the back. I use this crank to create a space inside the tube. Not quite enough yet. I should have had this prepared already. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I'm going to put my white clay inside the extruder. I put my frosting tip against the top of the extruder, and then here's a cap the Wilton tips fit perfectly into the walnut hollow clay extruder, one of the reasons why I like it so much. So there we go, and then I twist the crank again and it starts giving us some frosting. So you'll see it start coming down here in a few moments. I'm just going to keep going real quick until I run out of frosting. I hate wasting it. I'll make a few more after the video. And with it being metal in the inside of the extruder, it will get hard. It will start unconditioning the clay fairly quickly. So there we go. There's some icing. As you can see, I like that a lot better than having to force it through. Forcing it through takes a while and it's not always very clean and pretty. Okay, so from here, I take some TLS. Now a lot of times the TLS kind of spills along the sides, so I'm just removing some from next to the cap. And I'm going on the bottom of my cookie all the way around. This is to act as a glue since these are cooked and the icing is not. Now you could obviously make these larger or smaller. For what I'm doing, I think like 3.5 inches, 4 inches is good for these size cookies. So I cut that off. I'm going to pull on it just a little bit, and then if you can see I have it in the center of my circle. I press down and attach it a little bit. Then I twist as I start pushing it around. The wind here is very strong today and my allergies are going crazy. So, sorry if you hear me breathing loudly through my mouth today. So there we go. Now what I'm going to do is take the top, place it on top, and just kind of press it ever so slightly to make it snug. The frosting could come out the sides a little bit if you like, and this is what it looks like. Now where it stopped, I used the safety pin that had a little TLS, and I will start smoothing the new one into the old one, and it kind of hides that a little bit there. It kind of attaches them. And that's usually where I stick my head pin anyway. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'll just go along the sides and clean up the ridges with the edge of my my toothpick. You could use a safety pin for this too. So there we have Whoopie pie. Sorry guys. Okay, so there's our Whoopie pie, and from there you cook it. Here I have pink. It's just a soft pink with, it's Dusty Rose Sculpey with a little bit of the ballerina from Sculpey. Those two with an even mix, and some about half translucent Primo. Then here we have some lavender from Sculpey with Primo, translucent. And then the peanut butter is Ecru from Primo, along with a little bit of burnt umber. And then translucent as well. Wow, somebody's persistent. Sorry about the phone today, guys. Okay, that will be it for this time, and here is how it looks when it's done. The cookie color was burnt umber from Primo, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.